We're live.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are live on What do you say? I've never done the intro. I tried to freestyle and I bombed. Uh, we got plenty of NFL news for you today. Jerry goes cray cray in the NFL meetings. Christian McCaffrey, he's a 49er now, no longer a Panther. Baker Mayfield really fucked that team up. What else we got? Are the Eagles, are they going to lose a game this season? Their schedule is pretty weak. And then, yeah, sit back, relax, get some popcorn, just ignore that intro, and welcome to the show. How's that?
There you go.
All right.
I didn't need to do anything.
Yeah, that's harder than it looks, man. I always give you shit
I
for
know,
that.
right? The, they take practice. Well, not
Yeah.
practice, just take repetition. And then I figured by the time we get to like episode 1,000, then I'll be like a intro king.
Yeah, you'll be just like Road Dog.
Yeah. That's why I kind of. That's why I start thinking about stuff early. It's like, oh, what could be a thing? I need a thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, it's
But
got to
that's
be
not my thing.
organic though.
That's
You
already
can't
a
just
thing.
like sit and you know, it's gonna be phony if you just plan one out.
You saying you can't plan a thing? You can plan a thing.
You can, but it's got to be a really good thing. I don't know.
I'm just saying you plan a thing and you get it over.
I guess I like it when it happens natural. But anyway, so which of the
Like,
things that I just said do you want to talk about?
well, hold on real quick.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
So, like, on AEW, on Rampage, for the very few people that watch it. So, Mark Henry, he does like the main event segments where he'll do like an interview right before the main event. And then at the end of the interview, he always says, "It looks like there's been enough talk. It's time for the main event." And he's like, "That's like gotten over, and that's a thing now." So he planned the thing, and then now it's a thing. So anyway,
So is Mark Henry a commentator?
um, not a commentator. He just does like interviews, and right now he just does like that interview. And then I guess to go deeper, he's probably a backstage coach or something. But
Okay. Do they still? And by the way, this is probably a good time to pimp our wrestling podcast that will I'll be posted the same day as this one. So make sure you get our wrestling insight. Do they still have Excalibur?
they do,
Okay. And
and
I'm sure
he's like a speed reader.
I'm sure Taz is still wasting
Yep, Tad's still
oxygen.
there.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't like his commentary stylings.
I don't know. I think he's funny.
Yeah, fair enough.
You got Taz, Tony Schiavone, Jim Ross, Excalibur,
Yeah.
Chris Jericho does Rampage sometimes,
Yeah.
and he's better than you would actually think. I like when you have the wrestler, the ex-wrestler, giving their perspective because they give their perspective.
Yeah.
Like they tell you, "Oh, this is why this move is effective," or I like it.
So
But anyway, let's get into some NFL talk because this is not our
yeah.
wrestling podcast. And by the way, we have a wrestling podcast.
Yeah, I already said that.
Hit the subscribe button. Anyway, I guess we can start it off by a big trade happening in the NFL.
Which one?
Christian McCaffrey.
Oh,
Oh, I guess that's also a trade that we could talk about. But Christian
yeah.
McCaffrey, let's talk about that one first. He is now a 49er, which came out of nowhere for me personally. Like I didn't even see that coming at all.
I read reports that they were in on it. Nothing final or concrete or definitive, but there are rumblings that the 49ers are interested in him.
Yeah, I didn't hear any of that. It just kind of caught me off guard. What did they have to give up for Mr. McCaffrey?
Bear with me here. I believe it was not first round picks. I think it was a second round pick, second, third, and fourth round picks of the 2023 draft, as well as a fifth round pick for 2024. So they got
That's
they
not
got
even bad.
no, they got a nice little load for him.
Yeah, and if he can stay healthy, that's a good trade for them.
Right.
It obviously makes them probably the team in the East to beat.
I'd say the team in the NFC, wouldn't you?
That's what I meant.
Okay.
What did I say?
The East,
Oh,
and they're not even
I
in the
guess you
East.
can. I guess you can tell what team was on my mind when I said that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it makes them the team in the NFC to beat.
Yeah. They kind of have to be. I mean, as long as Jimmy Garoppolo stays healthy.
Yeah, which is funny because this was Trey Lance's team, and you still have people that hold on to it's Trey Lance's team, yet now they're like Super Bowl contenders.
Now, what happens if they do win a Super Bowl without Trey Lance? Is it going to be
I
like the
think
Nick
we've,
Foles situation where they get rid of him?
I mean, I think we've already, I don't know, kind of settled that this is Garoppolo's team.
Yeah.
Um, if you want to go even further, I think we've seen enough to know that Trey Lance is not the future. It's like Jordan Love. You think he's the future, but he's not. Maybe you need a future, but it's not him.
Well, yeah, I mean, in fairness, he only did start one game.
That's true, but I don't know. I think
So,
I've seen enough. I was never sold on him to begin with.
well, I think you
Now,
have an
maybe he makes a,
incomplete grade.
yeah, maybe he makes a jump from like year one to year two, like a lot of people do. But I don't know. I think Garoppolo's the guy.
I mean, yeah, he's a winner. So to me, it never made sense that they were moving away from him to begin with. But yeah, with what was it, Debo
Hmm.
and um, the that tight end Kittle, and
Hmm.
now McCaffrey. I mean, they're pretty scary.
You got some weapons.
Yeah. So we'll see how it turns out. Because I mean, we've seen trades that seem like that they're blockbuster. Oh no, this is a powerhouse now trade, and that just turns into a flop.
Denver.
Denver, Russell Wilson. Um, but how how bad did Carolina or did Baker mess up to the Carolina Panthers? 'Cause, I mean, they, they got some weapons. Yeah.
Hmm.
Did Carolina or did Baker mess up to the Carolina Panthers? Because that was supposed to be like
I
the
mean,
little blockbuster trade.
I don't know if you can put it all on him, but the team does seem to be like having a one. They're having a fire sale.
Yep,
They got rid of their head coach.
sure did.
This is all happening around him, and and then you got to go here. Oh well, Baker Mayfield's never had stability. Well, where's the common denominator in that? It's Baker.
Right.
He everywhere he goes, there's lack of stability. Maybe because he gets people fired.
He gets every head coach he's played for fired.
Yeah, maybe it's time to turn the narrative instead of him being the victim. Maybe he's the opposite of victim. Help me.
Well,
I lost what word am I looking
he's
for there?
the aggressor? I don't know. He's at fault.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, he's certainly been playing bad. Like for as much shit as he was talking in the off season, like, oh, this is my resume, and Browns just didn't respect me. Now it looks like the Browns knew something that the rest of the world didn't. So especially the Panthers. Now what's really funny is that there was rumors that they were going to trade for Garoppolo, and I just think it's interesting how they ended up trading their best player to the 49ers with Garoppolo.
yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah. So
And they
we'll see
still
what
having
happens.
talks.
I
Now,
think
there's another player that happened to have been traded. Since we are talking about the Carolina Panthers and their fire sale, this one kind of this one was kind of weird to me. Um, Robbie Anderson, receiver. So from what I saw, uh, and we can fill in the details here. What I saw is he's yelling at his coach on the sideline. He walks off the field. The next day, it's announced that he's traded.
yeah, that's he got into it with his position coach, and then it like really heated. Like people had to separate him, and I think they eventually did separate him, but then they got into it again, and then Steve Wilkes was just like, okay, go to the locker room, and it
Yeah,
was
he
it
got
was
ejected
it was kind of
by
like
his
an
own team.
Antonio Brown moment, without him taking all his clothes off.
Yeah,
And then of course the next day he was traded, which to me it seems like he got rewarded for throwing a temper tantrum because by all accounts Arizona is a better team. He has certainly more of a chance to.
well,
I'm not saying that they're that much of a better team, but they're better than Carolina.
true. They're they could be a contender. Um, I don't know what he adds to Arizona, but I guess that's a story for another time.
Right.
Because they do have Hopkins. They have
Right.
what's the other guy's name? Kirk. I think they have Kirk. I'm not much of a an Arizona guy. Don't spend a lot of time watching Arizona Cardinals, but I know they have two receivers.
Right. Well, they at
Um,
least have Hopkins,
two, yeah,
which should be the majority of the targets. But I mean, from what I understand, he's a solid, productive player. So I mean, he's not like Tyreek Hill or Devonte Adams pre Oakland. Um, but he's still. I think Arizona got a good deal.
they certainly did. I don't know if it boosts them any more than what they are. Like, I don't see him making that much of a difference on the team,
Yeah, I think
but
he helps more than he hurts. So it's just another little weapon.
Yeah, but I would say of the two, like if you would compare 49ers trade to Arizona's trade,
Oh,
I
there's
think
no comparison.
49ers
Yeah,
look a lot better.
yeah. You can't compare that. So, but
But
we'll see what
it
happens. I
is
mean,
interesting.
I think a lot of people still think Tampa Bay is the team to beat, even though they're kind of sucking. But um, and then there, of course, there's Philadelphia.
Tampa Bay is a team to beat. I would
Some quote
say
unquote experts are. Bayless said they were going to win out.
I can see that. But I don't see how you go against the Eagles. Now, I easily go against the Eagles. But I don't see how the experts, the people who make their money off of picking this stuff, I don't see how they go against the Eagles. The
Well,
Eagles, they're undefeated. There's
because
not a loss in sight for them.
Tom Brady,
There is
they
there's a
still have
Tom
to
Brady factor.
suckle his nutsack. So
Yeah, there is that factor. Can't forget about the Tom Brady factor.
yeah,
And always there he, when it comes to playoffs, he always does have that magic. But it looks like we're gonna have to go through Philadelphia
he didn't
to
have
get
that
to the
magic
Super
last
Bowl.
year. Yeah,
Barely,
he didn't have the magic. He got out magic.
barely.
He got out magic. He got outdueled by Matthew Stafford.
You said that like it's a bad thing.
Well, I mean, it is
Matthew
Matthew
Stafford's
Stafford.
in the upper echelon.
Is he?
Yeah,
Uh, to me, he's like Philip Rivers, just really solid. I know he just won it.
Stafford.
Yeah, I wouldn't say upper echelon.
I mean, he did what they needed them to. He did what they needed him to do. And that was win.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm not taking that away from him. I said, like I said, he's really solid. I just wouldn't put him in the upper echelon. No.
Well, I don't know who's above him. Well,
Mahomes,
let me take that
Allen.
back.
Okay.
Let me take that back. When I say upper echelon, I don't know who bumps him out of that.
Well, I mean, I I don't know. Are you setting a specific number of the upper echelon? Because I mean, that's kind of subjective, isn't it?
I guess so. Well, how many? I guess I didn't think about how many are upper echelon.
Well, I would say
You got to be
definitely
like,
Mahomes. Obviously Brady.
no more than five, huh?
Well, who's upper echelon? Let's determine that first. Who's like no question, no debate.
Mahomes,
Okay,
Brady,
okay,
Allen.
okay.
I think that's
There you go. That's
that's
upper echelon.
that's the well, that's your no debating.
Okay.
Like even but so like that's your no debate upper echelon. But then you go to like the next tier, which are still upper echelon, like Aaron Rodgers, but
No,
some can
no, no, no,
debate.
no, no, no.
See? See what you're
See,
saying right now.
you said it too. Don't pretend that this is an original idea. Like
I
Aaron
didn't
Rodgers
say
has,
it.
aside from one Super Bowl win, and I think he lost the Super Bowl the next year. Um, all he has been is solid and inexplicably called the best quarterback in the league. That's it. He's just been solid. Upper
I mean,
echelon, my ass.
he's better than solid.
How many Super Bowl rings does he have?
We're not talking about Super Bowls. We're talking about postseason, no, regular season numbers,
And
and he's in the upper echelon.
he doesn't make his team better.
He wins MVPs. He
How
throws
many
for
MVPs does he have?
uh I don't know. Wasn't he the MVP last season?
Was he?
I believe so.
How
Yeah,
was he? Did they even make the playoffs last season?
not NFL MVP. Just I'm sorry, not postseason MVP. Regular season MVP.
Okay, but how can you be MVP if you don't make the playoffs?
They made the playoffs. They
Oh,
didn't make the
okay.
Super Bowl, and that award is handed out before the Super Bowl.
Oh no, I get that. I thought they didn't make the
So
playoffs. That's my. I don't
no,
remember.
yeah, they made the playoffs.
Okay, were they
They
one and
got one
done?
and done
Okay,
by San Francisco.
all right. That's why I don't remember.
So
I don't know.
yeah, he's upper echelon,
If you say so.
but with a question, right? Because there's some people who will say he's not. So he's a debatable upper echelon. So then I guess to circle this all around is that's where Matt Stafford can go. He's like a
Well,
debatable upper echelon.
I don't think Matt Stafford makes the team any better.
Makes the Rams any better? They won a Super Bowl with him.
Yeah, that's because they
How
had
does
an
that not
all-in
make him
team,
better?
huh?
I said, how does that not make him better?
Well, he was better than Goff, but the supporting cast like that, they got all those. They got Ramsey, they got Aaron Donald, they got Cooper Cup. I mean, they had stars.
They were all there
All they needed is
when he was
somebody.
there.
All they needed was somebody that was better than Goff. That's it, and that just happened to be Stafford. Because Goff took them to a Super Bowl. That's
Yeah,
how
they
good the
got,
team was.
and I believe he was on record, or Sean, Sean, God, these names. What's his name? The head coach, Sean
McVay.
McVay. There you go. Golly, why does that happen? Anyway, Sean McVay was on record saying the quarterback was the reason they did not win. Like he was on record saying that that was what was holding them back, was the quarterback.
Exactly. That's what I said. All they needed was somebody that was better than Jared Goff, and they got somebody better than Jared Goff. But I mean, look at Stafford's time with the Lions.
Yeah, he was like throwing for 4,000 yards pretty much every year.
Yeah, but he didn't win anything.
Well, that's a team thing.
Yeah,
It's not a solo.
he had Calvin Johnson.
Yeah, and he threw the most touchdowns.
Jesus Christ,
Or
even Dante
they're the.
Culpepper. Dante Culpepper went to the NFC Championship because he had Randy Moss. How the fuck?
You're
Could,
putting all of it on one person.
no, I'm putting it all on Matthew Stafford and
This
Calvin
is
Johnson.
this is not basketball.
You're
One
telling
person
me
can't
no.
win
You're
you
telling me that
the
this
whole
quarterback.
thing.
You're telling me Matthew Stafford is an upper echelon quarterback, and he has
Yes.
what when he was playing, he was the best receiver of all time. Like for some reason, he was triple covered in college, blah 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 blah. He has this guy to throw to, and what they can't make a deep playoff run.
Well, that's because there's other things involved.
What other
Team,
things?
coach, those two.
They had good
Like you gotta
coaches.
have a
They
good
had
head
Jim
coach.
Schwartz.
You gotta have a good head coach. You gotta have a good team, like defense. They never had a defense. They still don't have a defense.
They had a great defense.
Okay.
They had a defensive-minded coach, and then Matthew Stafford and Calvin Johnson were supposed to help with the offense. It just never materialized.
Well, that's also because they're the Lions. And it's like
Well, think
one
about
of
it.
those teams with like the stigma or the curse on them.
Well, think about it though. Like before Mahomes became the starter in Kansas City, they were just a good team. Now they're like championship contenders each year. Stafford didn't do that.
They're championship contenders.
The Rams?
Yeah.
No, not this year.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
And you know what people are saying? What's wrong with them?
Yeah.
By the way, Cowboys being one of the teams that beat them, but that's here nor there. But it is worth mentioning.
Is it? What is it?
By the way, the Cowboys, Cowboys being the only team to beat the two Super Bowl teams from the previous year. Don't know when that's ever been done.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's been done, but I can't tell you when the last time that's happened.
Oh, speaking of the Cowboys, did you happen to catch the dealio with Jerry and in his meeting?
I did not. Tell me what happened.
So apparently, all the NFL owners met to discuss, finances and stuff. And I guess there was an issue with Robert Goodell's compensation, where they basically wanted to pay him for incentives, which is the thing. I guess it was future incentives. So like basically, they were going to pay him for stuff he hasn't done yet, and Jerry kind of put his foot down to the point where he and Robert Kraft were arguing, and apparently he told Robert Kraft not to fuck with him. So Jerry just sitting there with his little dead smile, his black eyes, hunched over.
Black eyes, golly.
Yeah.
I can give you beady.
Nope, they're black. He said, "Don't fuck with me." And apparently,
With his teeth.
yeah, don't
With
you
his...
fuck with me. And then, and then Robert Kraft, he put his hand over his breasts, and he said, "Excuse me." And then I guess Jerry amended it to say, "Don't mess with me." He probably had a 6-shooter.
I mean, you portray Kraft in this story as like as backing down, but he is, he's a Boston owner. And
Yeah.
Bostonians are kind of tough people. So I don't know if he was exactly backing down,
Yeah, he
but it'd be
backed
funny
down.
to see those two like head to head, like
No, it
face off.
just from the times I've seen Robert Kraft on TV, he doesn't seem like the type of guy that gets his hands dirty.
You're saying like he's got like a mob?
No, I'm saying he's as soft as tissue paper.
Mm.
Think about it. He's got to pay little Asians to whack his wanker. He's the owner of an NFL
What
team.
does that have to do with anything?
Well, let me get to the point. He's the owner of an NFL team. He could have anything that he wants. If he was a real man, he would go stake his claim somewhere. But no, he's got to go have ting ting at the Asian soap shop in the back room with like one of them swinging lights.
You're saying he should be like Jerry, who goes out, who's who gets caught in like the horror part
Scandals.
of town,
Yes.
he himself gets caught in the horror part of town, probably rolling up on horrors, rolling the window down, talking about what what you won't do for me.
I'll give you $100 if you let me spit in your mouth.
He probably give him more than that, like 10,000.
No, he wouldn't. Come on. I'll give you
No,
$5.
he strikes me as the guy who would like overpay just to do it, like
Oh no,
for the humiliation.
I see him paying like what he thinks normal people would think is a lot of money. But then he would just degrade him. I'll give you $5. I, I'll give you $5 if you eat my booger.
$5.
Yep.
No, because he's successful in these
Yeah,
ventures.
he didn't get rich by giving his money away.
Well, I'm just saying he's successful in these scandals.
Yeah.
Like he's always getting caught doing stuff. So he would have to be paying them where it's worthwhile to be able to get into the act, and then he's getting caught. Like there's another scandal he's in between right now.
Oh,
I
is
don't
it
have it
the?
with me, but
Doesn't he have like an illegitimate daughter or something?
uh, no. Well, I'm sure he does, but it wasn't this one I was talking about.
Oh.
Um, I don't know. He was something about him being out with a woman or stripper or something. It
See,
seems like that's something important that I should have more information on, but I don't.
see
I just kind of glanced over it.
and see that's alpha behavior. Not Robert Kraft going to the fucking bathhouse and probably in the middle of the night. Bet he wears a bet he wore like a baseball cap with sunglasses.
In a hoodie.
Yeah, but just the idea. See, I bet Jerry was close to just jumping over the table and beating the fuck out of him. I just see you son of a bitch. You're gonna vote my way,
I wonder how good he could move.
Jerry.
Yeah,
Oh, I bet he can't.
because he doesn't seem like he can move very
No,
well.
he couldn't move in the '90s.
But I bet yeah, it was like he could probably close the distance on someone, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem like he's the kind of jump over the like maybe he'll say I'm gonna jump over the table and beat
True.
your ass, but
Yeah,
the actual action of doing it, I don't see him being able to do.
that's fair.
Like maybe in his head he can do it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like one of those memes where you picture yourself doing something, or it's like expectation versus reality or whatever.
Right. Well, I still think I think he could beat Kraft.
I think he could take Kraft at least.
Any anybody that does the little Jay Z's Rocka sign. This is
The
a little
Rock, the
yeah
Diamond.
diamond cutter sign. Fuck it.
We're crossing over again.
Yeah, Jay Z's diamond cutters sign. um, yeah, that just kind of shows that to me the kind of character and resolve. That and I bet Jerry has a gun. If anything, he's got one of them little girl pistols in his sock.
Yeah, he's probably strapped up. But those, always in the movies, those are the ones that get you. Those little
I
ones in
know,
the
yeah.
sock that you can't see.
They always had them in the corset thing around their leg.
Yeah,
It was always one and done.
yeah. So those are just as dangerous.
Yep. Way to save it. Um, since we're on the Cowboys, Dak is coming back this week, right?
Yes, Dak has returned back to Dallas. He has come to save our franchise from the dumpster fire that is Cooper Rush. I mean, what kind of phony was that guy think? Who did he think he was? That phony. Oh, I started 4-0, 4-1, whatever. That's Cooper Rush right there with his red hair. Like he was just gonna he was trying to scam our whole franchise to thinking that he was the savior. And then we were gonna like buy into him, maybe get rid of Dak Prescott or something, move on from him. And then that's what we're gonna be left with, that guy. What a crook. They should cut him from the team right now.
Just right now.
Right now. Tonight. Wake up tomorrow, cut him.
I
That's why
mean,
he's never a starter.
he did bring
That is why.
he did bring him, 17 to wasn't it 17 to 20 or something like that? Like all they had to do was stop two once. Maybe you could have got the ball back and got him in field goal range.
Yeah, he brought him within a touchdown.
So I mean,
But the
yeah,
first
he played poorly like the first half, but he at least got it back together. So I don't think he's a fraud. I just think he had a bad half.
I think he did what he does, and that's what did I always say? He did what the team needed,
Yeah.
but he hasn't scored. Um that one that one person said like you have to get to 24 to beat the Cowboys because like that's all he's gonna get. He's not gonna get you over 24.
Hmm.
Well, the Eagles got to 24,
Yeah.
and that's what he did. He got him up to where we almost got to 24, and then that was it.
Wow.
Um, no, I guess after my overreaction, he did play for the most part okay in the second half. Yeah. Um,
I thought he played pretty good.
and crazy enough,
What for
even
him? I mean,
even yeah, but I think even if let's say he did beat the Eagles,
mhm.
even then, I think you still have to bring Dak back because you need to now see before you make the final decision. you have to see if he's the guy, right? If Cooper Rush is winning with this team, the only variable that changes is Dak. You bring him back, and he doesn't win with the team. Now you know, okay, that's your difference. So I still think, for all that was said, all the Cooper Rush thing, I still think that Dak still needed to come back and give a chance to prove whether or not it was he's the guy.
Well, I don't think I, I I don't think there was ever a question of whether or not Dak was the guy. Um, I question the fact that he's coming back to play the Lions and the Bears before the bye week. Like you got pins and shit in your hand. Just chill, relax. Just take it to the bye week. I don't think Cooper Rush is gonna have any issues beating either team.
It's kind of convenient that he comes back for the 1 week after the Eagles.
Well, no, he was after they lost. He was saying like, "Oh, I was healthy enough to play," which kind of diminishes my opinion of Dak Prescott a little bit. Like your team just lost a heartbreaking game to a rival. You're gonna say some shit like that,
It's like, hey, don't forget about me.
right?
I bet you he was probably about the happiest he could be. I
Oh, I
always
bet.
question, like I always question it. Like you have like the starting quarterback gets hurt and the backup comes in and plays well, and they always show like the starting quarterback cheering for the backup. It's like you want him to do well, but you don't want him to do too well.
Right. Well, I mean,
So
I think
you can imagine,
Cooper Rush
mhm,
saved the season though.
yeah. I will say, if you remember back when Dak got hurt week 1, I did come on the podcast and proclaim that the season was over.
Yeah.
We needed to start over in Dallas, just
Yeah.
fire everybody. So he did turn that around. Maybe I overreacted a little bit.
Now, I don't think it's gonna happen, but what if Detroit beats Dallas?
Then we got some interesting stuff on our hands. I think if Detroit beats Dallas, the narrative's going to be Dak came back too early.
Of course.
Instead of, oh, we should have kept Cooper Rush going, yada yada. I think it's going to be Dak came back too early.
Well, I don't think Cooper Rush is ever going to be confused er, as everybody. I don't think he's going to be considered like the next quarterback for Dallas. But I do think that it'll escalate Dak's departure from Dallas.
Well, I think him was, and it's weird that one loss changes like everything. I think he rushed losing to the Eagles kind of saved some, or bought, I would say bought some time. It didn't save his career in
Right.
Dallas, but it definitely bought him some more time.
Hmm. I
Um,
just
Now, again, if he does lose to the Lions, um, I still think the narrative will be he came back too early.
yeah.
If they go on a losing streak like after the bye week, now it's gonna be a it's gonna get really interesting.
So basically, he's going to get a pass, or not a pass, the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
but I think overall they should definitely beat the Lions, definitely beat the Bears,
Which I think they
and then
could.
go into the bye week.
Well, and my point, I think they could easily do that without him. I don't know, because now like one wrong hit, like what if he get who's that Hutchinson, Aiden Hutchinson? Like what if he hits him and he, without even thinking about it, braces himself for impact on his injured or surgically repaired thumb and like re-aggravates it.
Hmm. Well, that's what I'm saying. You're saying there's no sense in him coming back, but I'm saying he just so conveniently is coming back right after they lose because this is the best time for him to come back, for
Right.
him to come back.
Right. I don't know. I think he's rushing it
Like,
because I think he tried to. I think he tried to come back before this game. I
he
think he
did.
wanted to play the Eagles. I think he wanted to play the game before that.
Um, well, from what I heard, for the most part, he definitely wanted to come back for the Eagles game.
Yeah, and they wouldn't clear him.
But yeah, I just think it's like, oh, everybody now sees that this guy's not the guy. I think it's time for me to come back while they hate him. Like, let's not give him time to. it's he's probably not thinking it this advanced because it's his teammate, whatever. But it's like, oh, they have a bad taste in their mouth from this guy. Let's not give them a chance. Let's not give him a chance to turn it around. Let me get back in there so they remember me. So my merchandise sells. So I'm on the billboards and the trucks, not
Well,
him and the cups.
I don't think you're too far off. I think uh, if you're a competitor and you know how precious that job is, because he knows that he's not like a solidified starter. He's just there because he's the best option. Like
Right.
he hasn't taken them to where Jerry ultimately wants them to be. Realistic expectations or not.
Well, of course they're realistic.
He'll smack the shit out of Dak too.
Well, it is going to be interesting to see if Dak wins. Does he come out and I mean, again, we first two games we shouldn't even be talking about this. Now you have like Demarcus Ware talking about this Cowboys are what Super Bowl contenders when Dak comes back.
He did say that.
So
I don't know.
you
I don't
should
see it.
win these two games going into the bye week, and then after the bye week, you got the Eagles. You got two games with the Giants. No, you got one game with the Giants. You got another game with the Eagles. Those are going to be two games there.
I think I think the offense will score more points, but I don't think that because I think Cooper Rush was playing with a certain calmness because he knows that like it wasn't his job to lose. He's not the starter, right? So and everybody expected him to suck. So he came in with like absolutely no expectations. Now Dak is coming
Playing with
back.
house money.
Right. Dak is coming back and there's an expectation for him to win now, especially with that defense. The fact that Cooper Rush only lost one game filling in for him, like I don't know, the world's on his shoulders, so it's nut uppercut up time.
Yeah, Cooper Rush did sound like that. There's like no excuses for Dak. Um, this is def. We've proven that this is definitely a team that should be winning. So he needs to just keep that going.
Yeah.
And at worst, you all you have to do is what Cooper Rush did until he didn't, which is not turn the ball over and show up when they need you to show up. Like you don't have to throw for 300 yards. You don't have to score, you know, 5, 6 touchdowns a game. You need one to two touchdowns in the game and not turn the ball over. That's all you need to do. And then let the defense do what they do.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more.
While we're on quarterback controversies, I need to get Black Stradamus out here again.
Black Stradamus.
Yeah.
Black Stradamus, really? Okay.
Because there's a quarterback controversy that the media is not talking about yet. And that's my predicting the future.
Okay.
And it's weird that no one's talking about it yet because it's happening and it's right under our noses. And it's in New England.
Oh, they're talking about it.
Are they?
Zappy and
And
oh,
Jones.
yeah. Did I cut your nut?
No. No. I'm more. The sigh was because they're talking about it.
Yeah. I mean, um, there. I read a story that Bill Belichick, he didn't deny, or he wouldn't address like the notion of controversy, but he didn't like deny it. Like he didn't just come out and say no.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, the guy, and he's a rookie. He's come and he's played pretty damn good
Yeah.
in his starts.
His didn't
So,
he only play one game?
no, he's played three, I believe.
Oh, I thought he only started one game.
Maybe he started one. No, he's definitely started two.
Okay.
The other game, yeah, the two on where the two backups, or the backup and Jones got hurt. He came in, he played well to finish the game, and then he started the next game, and he started the next game.
Gotcha.
And he's played well in all three of those appearances.
Now,
So I was like, huh, why are we not talking about the controversy there?
because I don't, because Mac Jones has only started one season, um, and I think they're still trying to figure things out in New England. I just think there's so many warts right now with that team that is kind of the on the back burner.
Well, they're winning with him. Um, yeah, who did they who did they shut out? They just shut out someone. Go
Um,
back and look. I'll pull
it
it up
wasn't
real
the
quick.
Jets.
It couldn't have been the Jets.
Was it the Browns?
They the Lions. They shut out the
Oh, okay.
Lions. So yeah. So they had Jones. They weren't doing so good to start the season, and
Right.
then Zap comes in. Zappy, whatever his name is. Is it Zappy? It is Zappy. Bailey
Zappy.
Zappy.
Yeah. Now is it
And then now they're just racking up wins.
is it is it Zappy or is it the coaching staff getting their shit together finally?
I think if you look at like the points, like he's caused an increase in points. When
Okay,
Jones was there, they were scoring like 7,
right.
and then I think at the start of the week or I'm sorry, the start of the season they scored 21. Um, but yeah, he's been like 7, 17, 10. He's been keeping it around there. Cooper Rush kind of scores,
Gotcha.
but but this kid comes in and now they're producing more touchdowns. So,
Well, New England
but if
has
they're
his
talking about it, I guess I've ruined Black Stradamus.
New England has historically had some pretty good play from the backup quarterbacks though. So,
Yeah,
I,
they're the masters of getting their backup quarterbacks deals,
yep. So we'll see what happens with them. I hope.
and that's the controversy because that's kind of where I got to this whole controversy thing. It's like I initially thought, oh, there they go, building up another backup quarterback,
Yep.
and then I was like, but which one is the backup? Because they're going to trade someone.
Right.
So now, do they trade Jones or do they trade Zappy? But
Or do they keep them both and let them compete?
I think Belichick's like he's proven himself to only keep the one, especially when he can get more draft picks from the backup quarterback. Um,
But it's not
and
really
Tom,
definitive who the one is yet, though.
right? And Tom Brady's tenure with the Patriots, Bill Belichick, or I would say more so the Patriots themselves. You know, they were they had drafted the most first round quarterbacks.
Was it first round?
Well, no, I'm sorry, not the most first round quarterbacks, the most quarterbacks.
Okay. Yeah, they get little projects or whatever.
Well, what they do is they draft the quarterback. Maybe they get some playing time or something, and then when they've proven themselves, they trade them. Jacoby Brissett, Jimmy Garoppolo,
Castle.
um, Castle, the fraud Castle. That was a heist.
Yeah, yeah, man. How silly do the Chiefs look?
Well, I guess not too silly because it got them to Mahomes in a roundabout way.
I guess so. Well,
But
we're coming up on our hour. Is there anything else we need to wrap up?
oh, we do need to talk about our picks for the week.
We do need to talk about our picks. Or any NFL?
Oh, and then one other real thing, quick thing we can talk about. It seems like the NFL in general, fans, former teammates, anybody who has an opinion of Russell Wilson has turned to hating him.
Yeah,
It seems like the world has turned on Mr. Wilson.
they're calling him like fake now, and he's an imposter, and he's a like they're getting like personal.
Yeah,
He's having one
like
bad season.
they're doing stuff not even relevant to football.
Right.
Like, oh, he's a crook. All the words I called Cooper Rush earlier, that's what they're calling Russell Wilson now. But for real.
Right. And but yes, the fans have been caught tweeting that, uh, like, for example, it's looking more and more likely like the Broncos purchased a lemon. Russ has been awful so far this season. We're not riding anywhere with him like this. Love my Broncos, but ish for the birds. I'm sorry. Hashtag Bronco Country for this terrible display of offensive football. Former Broncos tight end and Hall of Famer Shannon Sharp said. Denver trading five first and second round picks for Russell Wilson is going to go down as one of the worst trades in NFL history. Um, Skip Bayless said that Russell Wilson made Baker Mayfield look like Tom Brady.
Well, I don't know about that yet.
I don't either.
That's a
Um,
stretch. I mean, look at he hasn't imploded the team yet, so Baker still has that over him.
True. Although he might get that coach fired. They're already talking about Hackett getting fired.
Well, I think Elway. He doesn't have the patience for failure.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
He's quick to make moves. As a matter of fact, if Wilson doesn't start acting right, he'll probably be out next season.
Wilson. I don't know. They gave up a lot for him.
I don't think Elway cares. Like, you produce or you get out. It's that simple. And I don't even know what's happened to Wilson.
I think it's the coaching. Because if I mean his last season, he was still productive. He's still playing well.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like he's trying to stay in the pocket more or
I just think it's the
he's.
system.
It could be that because he definitely doesn't move around like he used to,
Right.
and it might just be because the system yields that he be a drop back passer, which he's not.
No.
And that's not a race thing. Everybody, calm down. It's he's not a drop back passer.
He needs to stay out of that pocket.
I'm not trying to. That's not me comparing him to Cam Newton.
There's no comparison.
Yeah, that's just saying he is not a drop back passer. Um, so yeah, could just be that because I do notice he's not scrambling, but that could definitely come down to coaching saying, "Hey, stay your ass in the pocket."
Yeah. Just could be the scheme. Which, I mean, you got a first year head coach that, I don't know, more often than not, it seems like they don't know what they're doing these days. Like every now and then you'll get a McVay, but generally it's
Or the
kind of a good.
I was just gonna say, or the guy in New York right now,
Soleil.
the Giants.
Oh, Dabo?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think he's making the most of his opportunity there. Which is kind of interesting that Joe Judge couldn't win with that team because I think it's pretty much the same team, isn't it?
it is.
Yeah,
Yeah, it definitely makes it weird.
it's kind of scary actually.
But I guess that is a good lead into our picks,
I guess it
as we
is.
are coming around about that hour.
All right, let me pull it up here.
Yo, DJ, play my music.
All right. New Orleans and Arizona already played. We have Atlanta and Cincinnati.
I'm gonna go with Cincinnati.
Okay. I'm going to go with the Falcons.
All right.
We have Cleveland and Baltimore.
I'm going Baltimore. I don't know
Yeah.
what's happening in that secondary, but I'm going Baltimore.
Yeah. Well, they're playing Cleveland. That's all you need to know. And they can't stop running. Or they can't stop the run. So that's
That
not
ain't
good.
gonna be good.
Right. Dallas and Detroit. I think we both agree the Cowboys.
Yep.
We got Green Bay versus Washington,
Carson Wentz is out, if that
which
makes a difference. We got Taylor Heineke starting,
probably
but it
improves.
doesn't make a. We will see, because everybody did blame Carson for them sucking. So
Yeah.
now you get now you get your backup. You get
And
the guy
Green
you
Bay is
wanted.
playing like shit too.
Um, yeah, Green Bay, they're not playing any better, but I'm still gonna go Green Bay. I can't pick against them.
Yeah, if it was any other team but the Redskins, I'd probably pick against Green Bay, but no, Rodgers is gonna win. Next we have Indianapolis versus Tennessee.
This is a complete guess for me because I haven't been able to keep up with Tennessee this year, but I'm going Indy.
Okay.
Like I have no idea what their record is or anything.
Well, they already beat Indianapolis this year. They're going to go
Oh,
for their second year in a row where they've swept Indianapolis,
well there you go.
and I think they're going to do that. So I picked Tennessee.
Okay. Next up we have um
New York and Jacksonville.
Giants.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
the Giants and the Jaguars.
I'm picking the Giants.
I too am picking the Giants. Tampa Bay, Carolina. The dumpster fire that is Carolina.
Without McCaffrey, we're going to go with the Bucks.
I'm going with the Bucks too. I do want to point out, this is on your screenshot here, that the Bucks are 10-point favorites, which is a huge number in the NFL.
Yep.
That's like being that's like being favored by 50 points in college.
That's so weird to me. But
Well, they're usually close games. So
right.
if I were a betting man, I'd probably take Carolina with the points, but I don't know. That's not that's for entertainment purposes only. That's not gambling advice in any way. Anyway, next game. Houston and Las Vegas. Hmm.
uh, Jesus. Houston?
I'm gonna go Las Vegas with this
Okay.
one.
All right.
The no, sorry, the Jets and the Broncos.
And
And
Wilson's out.
is he?
Yeah, he's got a hurt hamstring.
Well, there you go. Everybody turned on him and he's out. So I'm actually going with the Jets anyway,
Yeah,
and I
I
was
am as
going
well.
with them either way.
Yeah, probably.
Now this is a spicy one here.
Yeah.
Kansas City and San Francisco with Christian McCaffrey.
Do you think he's gonna play that early?
Why not? He's a running back. It's not like he's got to. Not like he's got to learn the whole playbook. He's got to learn how to get the handoff.
Was his asset is catching, so he's
I
got to
think
know the
we've
routes.
seen. I think they could. Yeah, I think they can like limit. Maybe he's on a pitch count like 10 plays or something like that. But I do think he gets in there.
Okay. So you got
I'm gonna go with Kansas City in about bounce back game. Yeah, yeah. That's we'll lock that in. Kansas City. I think they bounced back from their loss last week.
I'm gonna go San Francisco. I think they're gonna be little pumped.
All right. That should have been their Sunday night game. Um, they should have flexed that one in. Seattle and the Chargers, Los Angeles Chargers. Seattle is a very high scoring team, which is surprising in itself.
Right. I'm gonna pick Seattle.
I'm going with the Chargers.
All right.
And then we got Pittsburgh and Miami. Um, Tua's teasing that he's coming back. I don't think he is yet, though.
Pittsburgh. I think Miami's on a downward slide. I think that whole Tua situation just put a wet blanket on the amazing run that we're gonna have.
It's pretty much done for them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick Miami because of the weapons.
Fair enough.
Um, that I'm gonna say that Tua plays. Maybe he doesn't, but I'm gonna say that he does. That's why I'm picking Miami. And then our Monday night delight: Chicago Bears, New England Patriots. Kind of funny that we were talking about Zappy, and here he
Right.
is. And with that, I'm picking New England.
I am as well.
All right, that is our picks. Lock it in. Um, and again, that's for entertainment purposes only. This is in no way gambling advice. So there's that. and on,
Anyway, beat you
and
to it.
on your way out, don't forget to hit the like button, comment below if you agree or disagree with anything, and anything else.
Have a good night.
I guess you should have been doing that because you did the intro. But
Yeah, that's
anyway,
all
have a
right.
good night.